Hey, Zach Henderson here. Today we're talking about the Kettlebell Goblet Squat. And this is an exercise that I love for a lot of different reasons. Principally as a coach, because it is the easiest way to teach somebody how to squat properly using just a little bit of weight. You know, with our sedentary culture, we've got locked up hips, we've got sleepy abs, and the last thing that we want to do is get somebody in the gym, throw some heavy weight on their back, and have them start doing a bunch of heavy squats. It's really a recipe for disaster for most people's ankles, knees, hips, back, the whole gamut, right? So instead of going too crazy on heavy squats, what we can do is get a lot out of utilizing lighter front squats, principally with the kettlebell, in order to teach good mechanics and to start building some hip and leg strength and mobility. Of course, this exercise can be done across the spectrum from something very, very light to something pretty darn heavy, and you'll get a lot out of everything in between. So let's go over the technique real quick. I like to grab the bell by the horns. So you can just adopt your basic deadlift technique, pop it up fast, and grab by the horns. If that's a little too tricky, either A, you're using too much weight, or B, you can just kind of use hands to actually curl it and squat it up, okay? A lot of people can do that well, again, to help learn the mechanics from the bottom up. In any case, what you'll find is by holding just about 6 to 8 inches in front of you, you'll find a sweet spot where not only are your arms and lats working decently hard, but your abs are as well. Of course, you can keep the bell nice and close, but you don't want to get in the habit of just leaning the weight into you, right? You want to have it out just far enough to where you're actually having to work to stabilize an upright torso, okay? From here, keep it at this sternum level. Keep the elbows in close. A lot of people will flare the elbows out wide. Keep them pointing down, and then we're just gonna drop straight down into your squat. Another great thing about the goblet squat is you can use it to quickly and easily find your optimal squat stance. So in between every rep, you can experiment with a slightly more narrow foot position or wider. And then of course, experiment with the angle of turnout for your feet as well, and just see which variation feels strongest for you, which variation allows you to get the depth that you want, the easiest, and of course what feels best for your hips and allows you to keep your abs tight. All right, so here are 3 different ideas that I like to add to the bottom of the goblet squat. Of course, we could probably all use more time in that deep hip position, so take a look. First is gonna be the prying stretch motion. So classic addition to the goblet squat. Basically what we do when we come down to the bottom, we're just gonna push one knee out, so you're getting a deep stretch through that side of the groin. Same thing on the other side. Now, you can also do this without using the elbows. So just keeping the elbows in and literally just pushing one knee out, other knee out. Of course, probably recommend that you keep your foot on the ground when you start, and then maybe add the tilt out, okay? Second one is actually adding curls at the bottom. So again, staying nice and upright. Let the weight fold down, open the elbows, and curl right back up. Probably not as hard as you might think, but that's another good one there as well. And then finally, what we're gonna do is work on some internal rotation, activating the adductors. So we're actually gonna block the insides of the knees with the elbows, and we're actually going to squeeze the knees in against the arms. So I'm actively pushing my elbows out, I'm pushing my knees in, reset, and come on up. Okay, so lots of room for experimentation there, holding that deep hip position, that deep squat position. Again, if anything goes squirrely there at the bottom, not too bad. All you gotta do is just set the weight right down there on the ground. Again, another reason that the goblet squat is just such a versatile tool. It's safe, you've got options, and again, it's helping you to groove a flawless squat pattern. Here's a little challenge for you that consists of goblet squats, high knee marches, and swings. We're gonna do 5 squats, 5 high knee marches on each side, 10 swings. We're gonna do 3 rounds as fast as you can, and it looks something like this. Of course, you're going to do 2 more rounds of that, ideally with no rest. But again, I really like to do a lot of single leg work, and these high knee marches in that goblet squat position are a great way to get that in. That's all for today. Do your goblet squats, enjoy your goblet squats, cook your goblet squats in any way that works for you, and we'll see you in the next video.